guys, thanks for joining us back again. We are doing continuing our Origins 2016 summer preview coverage in Columbus, Ohio. You're watching the Dice Tower. I'm Sam, and I'm here with Joshua from Gray Fox Games. Thanks for joining us.
Hey man, thanks for having me on.
Appreciate it. And you have a prototype here, it looks like, of London Dread. Show us what it is.
I will. This is our pre-production copy, so the game has actually been sent to the printer. We hope to have it in time for Gen Con.
Cool.
And London Dread is a Victorian-era cooperative horror game.
All right.
In the mean streets of London. And so it's meant to be this deeply thematic experience. The game comes with a series of scenarios, and every scenario is a story.
That's cool.
And so the players play 2 rounds generally for a story, 2 different chapters. They uncover a particular plot line, and their investigators basically try and discover and defeat a threat in the city of London. So every story has an antagonist. In this case, it's the Ritual, and this is actually the setup for the training scenario.
Okay.
And each of the players has a unique backstory. Some particular, we'll go ahead and stick some of these over here. Some particular event in their past has caused them to get involved in this story that they're trying to uncover. So as you play the game, there are two basic phases over the course of these 2 chapters. There's a planning stage where you plan your movements around the city, and then you have a story phase where you go through and execute the events and see how things went.
Okay.
And so the planning phase is a real-time phase in this game where players program their actions on one of these action clocks.
Okay.
So every player has a series of these action tokens that they're going to slot into these spaces over the course of the game, and it basically indicates where they're going. Location 5, location 2. If they want to change directions, they throw an arrow in there. So all of this is happening over a 12-minute period in real time where players are communicating and trying to solve a puzzle.
Okay.
So the puzzle at hand is revealed by these cards which are put out. During this phase, you also are going to be flipping these cards to discover what sort of threats are in the city. And whenever you find one of these plot cards, it gets filled in with one of these story events. So as you play through the stories, there are fixed events which always occur. Okay. And when your characters are sent to these events, they resolve them and see how well they took on this challenge. Okay. So during this countdown, this 12 minutes, we're communicating, we're programming, we're trying to get our characters to the same place, because you'll notice that on each of these cards, there are a series of icons. And these icons correspond to your character's attributes. So you have a bull that's representative of strength, and a dove that's representative of spirit, and so on.
Cool.
And so based on the particular threats, different skills are needed, right? If you want to take down the raging machine, you need guile and courage, and a little bit of tech wouldn't hurt either.
Okay.
So by bringing characters which match these attributes, you're raising your ability to take on the challenge, and each of them also has a difficulty level.
Okay.
So throughout the course of the game, as you send characters to resolve these events, they get to claim these events and take them off the board. They go into an investigation deck, because as you claim them, you find clues about your investigation, you build confidence, and this can come back to help you later in the game.
That's cool.
So as you defeat these things, they're going into a deck that's going to help you later. And then the plot points, when characters go to these events, they have an event. Flavor text on the back, a little bit of storyline, and these are executed slightly differently. You still want to be bringing the attributes you have, but these are key moments, right, in a story, right? These moments of climax, where your characters are tested. And so when your characters are tested, they're going to flip a card from what we call their personality deck, and these are unique to the characters. And based on their past experiences, they bring particular attributes. So here we have Maria, the nun. She's got a 6th sense. This allows her to bring a little bit of guile and a little bit of courage to this challenge. And if something matches, she's going to be able to bring more power to this event.
That's cool.
Right? In these cases, the power that your group brings equates to these action dice, which will be custom laser cut dice in the final.
Okay.
And when you take on this challenge, everybody combines the attributes they've brought to bring these dice to see how they resolve the challenge.
Cool.
Now, no matter how prepared you are, things could go poorly.
Could still go wrong.
Right, or how underprepared you are, you could pull off a miracle, right? And so when you roll these dice, you measure your successes, and based on those successes, you have varying results that bring you through the story and a little different plot point on the back.
That's cool.
So the stories have an arc. You follow them from A to B to C until you've completed the chapter, but the results can vary every round, so it's infinitely replayable.
That's very cool.
Yep.
So You mentioned that the game plays in 2 different chapters.
Yes.
And then each chapter has 3 parts in it, basically?
2 parts, a
2 parts?
planning phase and a story phase.
Okay, so how long does that really take, and how long does it play out? You said the first thing is 12 minutes, and that's timed, right?
Yep, the 12-minute timed on the normal setting. You can ramp that down if you want a bigger challenge.
Make it harder, yeah.
Yep, it takes about 12 minutes to do the planning, and then it probably takes about 12 to 15 to do the story and execute and see how your planning paid off.
So really, this is probably about an hour then?
Yeah, each chapter is about 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And then we do have, at the end of each story, you have an end game scenario, right, where you face the antagonist.
Okay.
And so this mechanic actually works a little bit differently and allows me to highlight what the value is of building confidence and getting
Gotcha.
clues. So when you get to the end game, you face the antagonist, and you'll face 3 random challenges from a deck of 6. These challenges are executed somewhat like the cards you faced already, but you'll always bring your personality card. These are moments of high stress, high tension for your characters, and any
moments
of the cards,
to shine.
yes, any of the cards that you've defeated and put in your investigation deck are going to be dealt out to the players in a final hand.
Okay.
So you can draw on the information you've built to defeat these challenges.
Cool.
Ultimately, what you're trying to do in this game is mitigate the level of dread, because each of these cards has an output of how terrifying or dangerous they are,
Gotcha.
which is tracked on here, and your dread track correlates directly to the strength of the antagonist at the end of the game. If you don't take out the threats, they're very difficult. If you take out a lot of them, you'll have an easier time defeating them in the final chapter.
Gotcha. So how many players does this play?
It's 2 to 4 players.
2 to 4, okay.
Yep.
And it's about an hour, we already said that?
Yeah, probably closer to 90 minutes with setup in the end.
Yeah, okay. And then have you guys come up with a price point yet?
Yeah, we're looking at $60 MSRP for this game.
$60 MSRP, you're going to have a bunch of custom dice in it. All right, very cool. And when can we expect this to hit the market?
So we're looking to do a limited release at Gen Con.
Okay.
And then beyond that, the full retail release should be September of this year.
Very cool. All right, so that is London Dread from Gray Fox Games. We'll see you guys on the flip side.